A lot of times on my channel I like to use power tools and grind away in the project, but today we're going to use hand tools and we're going to file away on the projects.
It's Sorority Tuesday. Roll the intro.
Alright guys, I need your help. I have two different file sets right here. One is by Bigfoot Files. These can both be found on Amazon, by the way. And the other one is two different smaller kits. And these are Black Widow files right here. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to test these out a little bit, but we're mostly going to compare what you get and the value and the specs. So let's first start out looking at the Bigfoot Files and seeing what comes in the box. Alright, so the first up file set we have for $49.99 is the Bigfoot Files General Purpose File Set, Ergonomic Grip, 9 pieces. So these are all the items that come with it. And what I like about this, everything's clearly labeled. And then it's a nice canvas bag, so it has these little eyelets right here. So if you want to hang it on your wall, you can do that. Or if you want to keep it in your toolbox, you fold that in, and then this just rolls up. And then you have this right here with the Velcro or the hook and loop. And right there is your complete kit. So if you want to hit the road, bring these with you. They're quick, easy, and portable. And I would say for filing, you would probably have just about everything that you need. So the first thing I noticed, these have a really nice grip to them. They also have a hole right there, so in case you want to hang them, you can do that as well. So the way that I was taught to file is to always go in one direction, then lift it off, you know, and keep going. I did see some other videos, actually, some people saying to just go back and forth. I don't think that that's the design of how these work. So these 7 right here, these files, these are the bigger ones. These are all referred to as a bastard file. So that's kind of like the middle of the road. So there's like the real coarse grit, then that's number 1. Number 2 is a bastard, which is more of a medium removal, and then like for fine removal, that's like the 3rd level. So the bastard files fall right in the middle. So I guess that's probably like just better general purpose. So on the end down here, we have these triangle shaped files. These are a tapered file. So this first one is a slim file, and this one right here, same exact thing, just an extra slim file. Alright, so I guess I might as well use their file as a pointer. So these are the tips for filing. The tips are easier to use with attachable handle, and that's what these have. So in a minute we're going to get to the other file set, and we're going to see some of the files don't have a handle like that. So I don't know if there's any benefit to ever using a file without a handle. I just think that for the most part I'm going to be happy to have a handle on it. If you want to buy a separate handle that attaches to it, I checked all the big box home improvement stores, and I believe in stock anyways, on the shelves I was looking at everything, only Lowe's was the one store that had a handle that would lock onto something like this. But I'm betting on all the websites of the other stores like Home Depot, Menards, you can probably find a handle as well. Tip number 2 says to secure your work with a proper capacity vise or clamp for doing general filing. Keep it low for the heavy filing, and then closer near to the eye level for your delicate work. So keep your files clean with a file brush. So the reason the other day I was in all 3 stores, I was looking for a file brush, and I think you're just gonna have to order one online. I put a link to one down below on Amazon in case you wanna see what I'm talking about. So tip number 4, store your files on a rack or a protective sleeve to keep from dulling the teeth. So we can zoom in, you'll see those teeth on there. Just a good idea to keep things from bumping into those and dulling them. Tip number 5, exert pressure for filing on the forward stroke only. Do not use the file during the backward movement. So like I said, that's the way to go. So if you see anybody else saying just go back and forth, don't listen to them. So we have 5 different files in here. The mill file right here says it's good for like circular saws and for draw filing or finishing metals. The flat file is for general tasks like on iron and steel. So the next design, half round or round, we have one of each here. It says it's used for flat, convex, and concave surfaces. The round file is used for enlarging holes and scalping concave surfaces. The taper triangular shaped file, that's used for sharpening hand saws. And I did see somewhere else that for general farm use type stuff, it's a popular file as well. And if you're wondering where these are made, they're made in India. Okay, so next up we have these two sets right here by Black Widow. So here's a 3-piece set and a 5-piece set. This one right here is $22.99. This one right here is $23.99. You can see it doesn't have the handle built in, so you would have to buy your own handle unless you use them without a handle. So the grand total price of these two added together, $46.89 versus the other one, which I believe is $49. So one of the distinct features of this that the other one doesn't have has a black oxide finish. So let me grab the other file right here. You can just see the finish of the two. So the black oxide finish said it improves the filing, and it also is anti-rust, that coating. So I guess we'll just have to put these two to the test and just see if I notice a difference between the two, how they work. So in this Black Widow set right here, it looks like it has the same exact handle as the Bigfoot. So both of them have a nice ergonomic grip handle. This had the black oxide finish ones, 2 bastard files and 1 round 6-inch file. And then the files without a handle, let's see, we have 3 bastard files, 1 smooth and 1 6-inch slim tapered file. So that's that triangle shape. So it looks to me like if you're going to do some smaller filing, you might want to go with these two sets right here. If you're doing some bigger stuff, then I would say the Bigfoot one looks like the better choice. So you can see this is the biggest one from the Bigfoot set, and that's quite a difference between these right here. Okay, we're going to go to a project and test these out. The other day I was doing some landscaping, removing some dead bushes, and there was one that I couldn't get out with the chain in my SUV, and I ended up having to do some hand digging. So I was using this hand tool right here. I believe this is called a mallet. So it's kind of like an axe on this end, so you can chop the roots, and then you can pry it with this right here. You can also do some chopping. I'll just show you a closer look at it. There's some dirt from it. So this part could use some sharpening. This side right here was about as dull and blunt as could be. So I wanted to file this and get it sharp. I didn't have my file set with me. I did have an angle grinder handy, so I just kind of cleaned that up a little bit to give it a little bit of an edge. I'll show you a before look at what this looked like. It was just completely dull. And I figured if I was going to try to chop on some roots that I would be there all day, because it's basically like a flat surface hitting it. So right now this is okay, you know, I did chop the roots, but I would like to use the file and just kind of clean it up a little bit more. All right, so we're gonna put this in the clamp. I have a nice heavy duty Wilton vise. The first sharpening we're gonna use is a 10-inch mill file right here from the Bigfoot set. So we're just gonna go forward, take it off, and repeat. So a nice thing when you're using a hand file versus a power tool, you can just slowly see the progress, so you're not removing too much off at one time. So if you want to get this really looking good, it's going to take a little extra work and take longer, but I think it's going to be rewarding in the long run. So let me see if I can find my angle. And eventually I'm going to switch to the other side because it's probably causing a burr to come across. So we're going to just want to even it out. Try to do the same amount of strokes per side, or for the same amount of minutes. So in just a quick minute right there, you can just see how it cleaned up some of that metal. So I'm not planning on getting this to be a real nice perfect edge. I want it to be sharp, but since this is just for like swinging into the ground and getting to the roots, I just want to have a fairly decent clean edge right there. So nice thing with a hand file right here is you can't take too much off at once. So with the power tool, if you happen to make the wrong move, you could easily take something off, you know, you can't put it back. It's like cutting hair. So it's something that works really well. If you're patient, I think you're going to be happy to have a file set. It just seems like something that you're going to need in your toolbox at some point or another. So from the Black Widow set, I think this is going to be the best comparison using this file right here. It's a half round. The flat side is a bastard file, so we're going to use this and see how the black oxide works compared to the other one. Yeah, I can definitely say it's nice having that handle. Makes a difference, but you can get by without it. It's not essential. Then it's a good idea to just look down the center and just see if there's one side that needs more removal than the other. We want a nice even V on this. You know, I think of filing as taking forever, but I'm going to say this is probably going to take about 10 minutes of my time. And quite honestly, it's quite soothing, just slowly putting some time in. So I can see in here where there's some metal shavings already. So that's where I'm going to need that special file brush right here to clean that up. So I really didn't even break out a sweat doing this right here. It's just pretty soothing, easy work to just do some removal right there and get a nice clean edge. All right, so besides sharpening axes and this hand digging tool, this Matic right here, another recent time that I needed a file, a slim file, was this Milwaukee hedge trimmer right here. Let me unfold it for you. So at my house I have this arborvitae that's starting to grow into the gutter, and I want to trim it back a little bit. So this has been my go-to hedge trimmer right here. It's a articulating battery powered M18 hedge trimmer, and I pulled the trigger and it just made a clicking noise. It didn't do that. So when this was only clicking, I knew something wasn't right. So I thought, well, maybe there's some mechanical failure. So I took a close look at it, and I noticed that one of the blades on here was curled over somehow. So maybe when I was up high, there may have been something that was up in one of the trees or one of the shrubs, and when I cut it, maybe it bent over. So the way it worked, I needed to file it down. So that's where a hand file would work really well to take that burr off. So that's what I did. I removed the burr, and then now it's working fine. So there's just some strange times that you may not think you need a file set, but as you can see, we're back in business again. So would you go with the Black Widow set right here? Or would you go with the Bigfoot Files that has the all-in-one carrying case, the ergonomic grip handles, and then a standard finish? So please put your comment down below, and if you use files, what do you primarily use them for? Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of to use these on, so it'd be helpful if you leave a comment down below. That way we can all learn from each other. All right, so hopefully I've been able to cover the basics on these two file sets, but if you want to find out more on each one, I will have some Amazon links down below where you can check them out. So my goal of this video is to help you guys out by putting these files to the test so you can see if they're right for you in case you're considering the purchase of them. So if you enjoy this video, you find it interesting, helpful, and informative, please give it a thumbs up and help support my channel. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.